The well-known UK actor Noel Clarke was chasing £75 million in damages. He lost it and now he's gone bankrupt and lost everything, even had to remortgage his house to try and fight this case. But there's lots of twists and turns in his full story.
But without a doubt, Noel Clarke is being stitched up.
And one thing we definitely learned throughout this is you should never represent yourself in court no matter what the situation, and especially suing someone that has so much income. What the hell actually happened to Noel Clarke? March 29, 2021, the BAFTA announces Noel Clarke will receive the Outstanding British Contribution to Cinema Award, but the following month his life is about to come crashing down. So The Guardian publishes a lead investigation article labelling Noel Clarke a sexual predator, saying that actor Noel Clarke accused of groping, harassment and bullying by 20 women.
Unless you've been through something like this, you can't. I couldn't speak, bro. I was in so much shock. Like I was like, I'm out. Firstly, I was like, I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
Paparazzi outside your front door.
They was outside my door for 6 weeks.
The article is based on accounts of 20 women alleging unwanted sexual contact, groping, inappropriate behaviour and comments, sharing explicit images and videos without consent, including secretly filming a naked audition, bullying and the abuse of power. Follow-up articles, a podcast and related pieces appear in the weeks or months later. So there was an immediate fallout because of this. The BAFTA suspends Clarke's award and membership, projects are dropped and paused. Clarke issues a statement taking some accountability, acknowledging some actions may have unintentionally affected people, but denying criminality or the broader allegation.
Right. 1 second. When I saw that bit in the article, it was like, how can you not remember sending your thing to somebody? And that's what for me was very questionable, because you see me, if I've done something, I'm saying straight out the gate, no, that never happened.
Right.
So when I read that and I was like, that's a bit dodgy. How can you not know?
So you got to picture this, the ups and downs here. So he went from receiving a BAFTA, a prestigious award, for them allegedly requesting to have all the data to be removed from all their platforms and want nothing to do with him, which he spoke out about after.
BAFTA sent an email around to their thing, to staff or whatever, to make sure all web links and all photos of me for my entire career, and then were deleted off their website, disabled and deleted off their website. It's just like not existing, you know.
Brother, you right?
Yeah, save him up. How you doing?
You know that we both, brother.
Yeah, take care, bro.
Yeah?
Hold out. Hey, stay out of trouble, you know.
Yeah, no, 100%.
All right, love.
100%,
Yeah,
brother.
love. Wow, that was a lot of love from a guy that's come out of prison and was saying that he couldn't believe what happened, and yeah, well, that makes two of us. Anyway, as I was saying, it's like being dead. It's like being not existing, and that's what they want. I guess that's the only time that anyone would even listen. That's the only time people would listen. If I wasn't here, then suddenly people would be like, oh, actually, maybe we should look closer at that thing. But right now, I ain't dead, I'm in.
What's bizarre, he's recently uploaded this interview to his own YouTube channel, as you can see Noel Clarke verified here, but in this he was kind of speaking out already. It was like he was sensing things to come in his interview, speaking out about the giants and racism in the industry and underrepresented people.
Anyone who sits at home believing that they can achieve more. This is particularly for my young black boys and girls out there who never believed that this could happen to them. I'm so thankful for this. And you know, years ago, I ended with the words, yes, we can. And we still can.
Some people were saying in comments it's just a play to get people on his side because what was going to come out and allegations and people going to try and cancel him at some point. And other people say if you speak out against the industry, it's no secret they're going to come for you and cancel you, or at least help every single situation that will make sure it does cancel you. Allegations in an article is one thing, but his whole world come crashing down. He said he got emails that it was about to come out, and when it did in the following days, everything around him left, right and center was cancelled off TV, even stuff that he created.
I lost everything in 2 days. I was just getting emails hitting me in my face like bam, bam,
So when you say you lost everything, can you tell us what you lost?
Bulletproof got cancelled, Viewpoint got cancelled and pulled off the air. My company got taken from me. I was kicked off of shows I created. I had a novel deal, I had a kids animated show which was about to get greenlit. We had 2 greenlit shows separately, 2 greenlit movies. Everything I worked for 20 years was gone in 24 hours before I'd even been spoken. So basically they read that thing and they were like, it's real, he's gone.
And you haven't even been charged. You don't feel betrayed?
No, I don't feel betrayed.
Angry?
This pretty much ruined his life for the next year, so Clarke issues and files his libel and data protection claim against the Guardian News and Media, GNM, over 8 publications. The High Court hearing was going to be there to determine if the lead article had strong grounds to believe that the claimant is a serial abuser of women. So this didn't start all the way until January 2025. There was a pre-trial hearing where they rejected Clarke's attempts to strike out GNM's defences of the truth and public interest. So with this massive Guardian article that caused a 76 million lawsuit, initially 20 women spoke out and it later expanded to more. But we're going to go through some of the publicly known women and what they said so we can actually look through it. So the first one is Johanna James, accused Noel Clarke of inappropriate behaviour. So she appeared in Noel Clarke's film Brotherhood, and her allegations stem from an audition for the film Legacy produced by Noel Clarke in 2013. She was 23 and recently out of drama school. According to reports, Clarke persuaded her to participate in a nude audition, assuring her via email confirmed by her agent that it would not be filmed. However, he secretly recorded the audition without her knowledge and consent, which he described as mortifying and led to the withdrawal of the consideration for the role. In winter 2017, producer Gina Powell showed James the footage during a meeting in South London pub, describing her appearance at the time as short brown hair after a hair disaster, differing from her usual blonde. James reacted with distress, crying about the incident years later. Additionally, in 2012, Clarke allegedly joked about having sex with her in a hotel after helping her secure admission and a fee discount at drama school when she was 22. This woman, James, publicly came forward as part of the Guardian's 2021 investigation for her claims referencing also in Clarke's libel suit against the publication. She was also listed as a defendant in Clarke's initial libel claim, later dropped out against some parties, accusing them of secretly filming her naked. And the 2025 High Court ruling found the overall allegations against Clarke substantially true, and there was even a clip attached to this one where it was a nasty prank that had gone wrong. This is filmed by Hello You, where she was pretending someone was having some sort of allergic reaction.
Hey guys, it's Johanna James, and I'm just about to go inside and interview Noel Clarke and Jason Mather.
Johanna James is in the film, and we heard through her producers at Hello You that she was going to try and play a prank on us.
And I've got a little prank up my sleeve.
Yeah, we weren't going to let her get away with that, so we're going to prank her. She's not going to get one over on us.
This is I created this, you can't prank me.
Guys, thanks for having me here today.
Pleasure.
So I thought we'd start off with a little beverage, because it's quite hot in here.
This is good.
It is a Monday, so let's party.
This is a good idea because I'm gasping. Cheers.
I don't really drink.
Pressure you into drinking.
Am I strawing this or are we just sipping it off? How does it?
Refreshing. I watched the originals this week.
Catch up.
Just to catch up and be ready for the third
Imagine where your character was in the first
Exactly,
few
I
films
was
or
like,
something
oh, she was a baby in that bit.
I don't find it that
Guys,
weird
I don't-
or anything. You alright, boy? You're right, boy?
I don't feel good. What's in the...
What's up with you?
Is there,
Are you okay? Do you got something in your throat? Do you want to drink?
Can we get some water?
Which one's yours?
yeah, sorry, can we get some, can we just see if we get some water?
There's water there.
Any
Can we have
water?
Can we have
There's a bottle of
There's
water.
Is there orange in that drink? Thank you.
I don't know, I just ordered them from the bar, I think. Shit, you okay?
You're sipping at that. What's wrong with that?
Jay, you okay?
I'm seriously not good. You know, I'm allergic to orange.
Man, shut up.
Well, mate, I swear, you know that I'm being serious.
I don't know.
Serious? Oh, you alright?
Find out what's in the drink.
Turn it off for a second, man. Just turn it off for a second. You alright,
This
mate?
is
Do you
not...
want some space? Do you want some...
I just
Is
need...
your neck hurting or something? Is your neck hurting?
You okay?
I think there's orange in there.
Is there orange in the drink? There is.
Oh my god.
Why is there orange in the drink?
Cool.
What do we do? What can we do? We've got some water.
He's allergic to orange, man. You know that.
I don't know.
You do know that.
I know he has an allergy. I thought it was
You've known us for fucking years. You know
thought it
he's
was an
allergic to
allergy.
orange. How does nuts sound like orange? What do you need? Call the ambulance. Yeah, call the ambulance, please.
I didn't know. I didn't...
You know me. You know him.
I
for
didn't
years.
know.
How can you not know he's allergic to orange? You've been with us like how many times to know that?
They're on their way.
They're on their way. He's having some sort of reaction. Bruv, what's it called? What is it called?
Allergic to citrus.
He's allergic to citrus fruit. So what? His throat's closing. Is your throat? His throat's closing. Bro? Sorry, how's that gonna help? How is that gonna help? How's that? I'm not shouting at you, but this girl's being an idiot. How's that gonna help? I know the ambulance is on the way. What can I do now? What can I do right now? What's crying? What are you crying for? What are you crying for?
I didn't mean to
What are you
do
doing?
it.
I know you didn't mean to do it. Do you think I think you're gonna put orange in his face on purpose? It's going red. What can I do right now? I don't have any ammonia. How can I get ammonia? Pee on him. I'm not peeing on him. I'm not peeing on him. Will that help? So he has to swallow some of the ammonia that will soothe it.
What?
You need to pee on him.
Can we everyone turn around? Can we tell Jay I'm really
You need
sorry?
to pee on him. Quick!
I can't pee.
Just take your fanny out and pee on him. What's wrong with you?
Can you pee?
I'm not peeing on him. I'm not peeing on him. Just put your leg on the, put your leg up here.
Oh shit! Oh it. You are not getting us, woman.
You can't prank the pranksters.
I am so pissed at you right now. Were you in on this? Were you in on this?
Yeah, we're good.
I was supposed to be pranking.
Nah, you can't prank us. Well done, babe. Good interview, no?
The next woman we're going to talk about is Jan Louise. I don't know how to pronounce this name. She's an actress known for roles in Crazy Rich Asians, Gangs of London and Red Eye, and she worked with Clarke on the film of SAS Red Notice, filmed in Budapest in 2018. She alleged that during a dinner in November 27, 2018, Clarke propositioned her for sex, stating he wanted to go to his place because of how you make me feel, I just really want to. When she refused, he reportedly threatened her, saying, alright, fine, don't tell anyone about this, yeah, because if you do, it will get back to me and I'll find out. The next morning, he sent her a shushing emoji to reinforce her silence. She confided in friends 3 days later, describing it as a Me Too at work, and informed Clarke's publicist, Emily Hargreaves, about it on January 14, 2019 at the BAFTA screening. And in court testimony during Clarke's 2025 libel trial, she expanded that Clarke suggested a script led through his bed or bedroom, describing fantasizing about her and left her feeling disgusted. She also expressed fear that Clarke's BAFTA award would act as a loaded gun to lure women, citing and boasting about work at a previous dinner when he propositioned her for sex and threatened her. The High Court judge accepted her account but noted, in the context of no abuse of power, it did not fully support the defense's truth claim about the specific allegation, and Clarke denied her claim. The next woman is Gina Powell. She served as a producer for Clarke's company Unstoppable from September 2014 to March 2017, working on projects including Brotherhood. She alleged constant harassment, with Clarke bragging and storing sexually explicit videos and photos on his hard drive, including secretly filmed naked audition. He reportedly told her that when he hired her, he planned to F her and fire her, but decided to keep her on. During a business trip to Los Angeles in August 2015, he allegedly exposed his you-know-what to her in the car, and the next day in the lift groped her while saying he got what he was owed. She pushed him away and said it was not on. Powell also showed Johanna James the secret footage of James's audition and confided in 4 people for Clarke's filming practices. In the 2025 libel trial, she gave evidence describing the assault, saying part of me died, and stating that she spoke out to protect young women in the film industry. She appeared vulnerable, soft-spoken, fearing Clarke might turn up on her doorstep. Clarke denied the harassment or bullying her and claimed it was not my business, that she needed a bar job to make ends meet. While being underpaid at Unstoppable, Noel Clarke's company, the court found her allegations of exposure and groping substantially true. Another woman that worked at the production as an assistant on Brotherhood said her allegation centers on the incident at the film wraps party on December 21st, 2015, where Clarke showed colleagues a photo that he had taken of her in a compromising position, doing the splits on a dance floor while her underwear was visible. 3 witnesses recalled him boasting about the photo. Apparently, she lunged to his photo for the mortification, causing it to drop and break. As a junior employee, she then took it to the repair shop. She described feeling massively humiliated, and she was one of the named accusers in the Guardian 2021 report, highlighting inappropriate sharing of images. Her claims were part of the broader allegations of sexual misconduct, including unwanted sharing of explicit content. Clarke denied the allegations, by the 2025 High Court judgment upheld the substantial truth of the reporting. Another woman, Joanne Hayes, was a costume assistant on the first season of Doctor Who, filmed in 2004. She alleged sexual harassment by Clarke in his trailer August 2004 after helping with his costume. Following a work brief discussion, Clarke reportedly commented he liked girls with long hair as it gave him something to hold on to when doing them from behind. Hayes had mid-black length hair at the time. Feeling uncomfortable, she tried to leave. He repeated the mark, sucked his teeth and explicitly and inhaled heavily and laughed. Hayes come forward in the follow-up of the Guardian report in 2021 as part of her allegations from the Doctor Who set. In the 2025 libel trial, she testified that women like her hesitated to speak out earlier due to fears of losing work in their industry. The court pleadings reference an incident where Clarke allegedly invited her to his trailer while filming in Wales. Clarke lawyers denied the comments occurred. The judge ruling confirmed the substantial truth of the overall claims, including those from the Doctor Who era. Obviously, there was 20 in that initial article and even more come out after. Apparently not enough for a police investigation to get to the point where they're actually going to arrest him and prosecute him in court. But there was other women in this anonymously. We've just gone through some of the stories in this that have actually got a face to it. Give it a little bit of context. So he's done a few different interviews on different platforms. My favorite one is James English, where we're going to pick out the parts that I like the most that was posted online, where he addresses his side of the situation. So firstly, you got to remember this guy was part of the industry too, and people like Stephen Bartlett had took his interview down. Everyone, even in the other social media side of things, the podcasters didn't want nothing to do with him, only the more outspoken platforms.
What happened to your Stephen Bartlett interview?
He pulled it down.
Why?
Ask him. I think that he was, you know, because I'd just done that interview 2 weeks beforehand, and it was, I like the guy, you know what I mean? And I was happy to be on it and all that, and then he pulled it down. My belief actually is that the BBC told him to do it. Not that it's any of their business, but this is the kind of level of cancellation that people were really trying to put on me. It's like they were telling people that had their own private things to just take shit down. You know, BAFTA was deleting my pictures off their website and taking my links. That, like, it's just disgrace. It's like, oh, the smelly kid at school, the smelly kid at school. Everyone run away from the smelly kid at school, and no one's gone, well, hold on, why did he smell? Does he have parents at home? Like, nobody's cared. My PR company is supposed to, this is their job. Stuff like this happens. That's what PR companies are for. That's what you paid them for. They fucking ran.
Noel Clarke was determined to protect his innocence here. Although there was no criminal allegations against him, he was just being exposed in an article. He reported it to the police himself. They come round to his house.
I sat in there for 3 days, going through him. Right. This person, this is what it is. Showing them all the evidence. Showing them all this. I reported it. You know, it wasn't a joke, mate. They took it seriously. I had the police come around my house. Detectives come around my house and go, Mr. Clarke, female detectives, Mr. Clarke, if we look into these false allegations and they turn out not to be false, you know, we're going to have to come back and get you. Are you sure you want to go forward with this? I said, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. And they went off. And they came back a few weeks later and they're like, we can't take any of this further. I said, why not? Why not? Why not? There's no allegations made against you. We've checked all the systems across the police forces. There's no reports, there's no complaints, there's no allegations made against you. I said, how do I get that in writing? I said, you apply for your freedom of information you apply for your right of access under the Freedom of Information.
Some of the stuff that was caught on camera was him on sets apparently doing things like pretending someone was about to die and jokes that went too far. And there is a mix of power trip allegations in there. But this is what he said about being a predator.
You know, because I don't want to sit here and say to you, I'm the perfect son, I'm the perfect father, I'm the perfect husband, I'm the perfect friend, I'm the perfect man. I'm not. I'm flawed, like I believe everybody else is. It seems like it's just me, but like I believe everyone else is. But I know what I'm not. I know what I'm not. I'm not an assaulter, I'm not a sexual predator, I'm not a fucking abuser, right? And so for my family to see this, my mom, my wife, like, it's just horrible. And again, it goes back to the same thing. Not only have I never had complaints with my agents and all that kind of stuff, we've never had this sort of stuff in the whole time I've been with her. Do you know what I mean? I've never raised my hand to a woman. I've never shouted. We don't even have shouting matches. Like, you know, and what they're gonna do now? You know, they're gonna dig up in my past. All my ex-girlfriends still speak to me, bar one, and she was an abuser. All of them have reached out to me. All of them messaged me. I saw one the other day. She gave me a big hug. How you doing? Like, what does that tell you? Like, if I can still legitimately speak to all my exes, my significant exes, you're like, you kind of go, well, hold on a second.
So this is the last part of the video, but where things get the most interesting. So we see the newspaper print numerous stories. Sometimes they're completely false. Obviously, Noel Clarke wasn't charged for any crimes, but he's still out here and he cannot get any acting work. He's ruined his career and he's going to go up against a newspaper and try and sue them for 76 million. So there was a 6-week libel trial in the High Court. Evidence include testimony from over a dozen accusers, women alleging misconduct, Guardian journalists and editors detailing their investigation and verification process, and Clarke himself was seeking damages of 10 million and then amended it to try and seek 70 million. By August 22nd, 2025, a judgment was handed down, a 224-page ruling. The court found strong grounds to believe that Clarke was a serial abuser of women over 15 years, using his power to parade, harass, bully female colleagues, engage in unwanted sexual conduct, kissing, touching and groping, and sexually inappropriate comments, unprofessional conduct, and taking or sharing explicit pictures and videos without consent. They state the publication was in the matter of public interest because of the sexual misconduct in the film and TV industry. So the Guardian, the editor team, honestly believed it was in the public interest and that the belief was reasonable and praised. They actually got praise for their exhaustive investigation. Clarke was deemed not credible or reliable witness overall, and Clarke failed to prove serious harm to his reputation beyond the first article. The Guardian admitting causing serious harm, but obviously they're saying it was in the public interest. The harsh part about this is the cost hearing. Clarke was then ordered to pay a $3 million fee to the people he was suing. And the estimated total figure they wanted was $6 million overall. We actually see 2 days after this that Noel Clarke was arrested at his London family home by Metropolitan Police. His home was searched and documents and electronic devices were seized, and he was questioned in custody and released with no charges reported. An investigation began apparently on the 1st of September, the reasons unclear and not publicly understood, but it may have been some of the stuff that was discussed in this court case. By late 2025, Noel Clarke had to state his inability to pay the $3 million due. Clarke states, exhaust savings, remortgage home, and minimal income since the allegations. And prior no win, no fee lawyers withdrew to lack of funds. And in December 2025, he actually had to file for bankruptcy. The bankruptcy was publicly reported online in January 2026. It's directly resulted from the liable defeat and unaffordable costs. As of this year, 2026, Noel Clarke is not actively working in any major professional TV or film or writing or directing. His career has effectively been sidelined since the April 2021 allegation surfaced. Reports consistently know that he's had little or no income for 4.5 years since that Guardian article had come out. It pretty much ruined his career. His post-2021 credits on platforms have noted no new acting roles or directing credits or production since 2021. Noel Clarke's career right now seems like it has no chance at all. He risked it all in a legal battle and lost, and it made things even worse. Obviously, The Guardian were very happy that they won. They get $6 million to cover their legal fees and their article stays up. And like I said before, they covered the whole case on articles as well, date by date, and gave updates to so many articles of Noel Clarke. So they won financially in so many different ways, whereas Noel Clarke, $6 million in debt and ended up going bankrupt.
I'm sexy, I'm gorgeous, I'm BAFTA's rising star. Actually, you're just a sex pest. I think the case is so interesting. It's so interesting. We'll talk about it in two ways, I guess, I'm imagining. We'll talk about it in terms of what it's like to be involved in one of these investigations, to run it, and then to have to go through something like this. And I'm talking always first about the victims in that, but also about the people who then have to defend it, the journalism. Also, I suppose, what it means for wider TV culture and some of those other things. There was a really memorable New York Daily News cover when Bill Cosby's accusers came out, and they did he said, she said, she said, she said, she said, she said, and they did 51 accusers. Now, there were 22 accusers here, and The Guardian had 26 witnesses. The inside word on these kind of cases is that you can maybe get them over the line if you have 4 or 5 incredible witnesses, or 2 or 3 like absolutely extraordinary witnesses who, you know, will go all the way for you. Here they had 26. A lot of Noel Clarke's ones didn't turn up, which I think is quite significant because
a lot of the witnesses for his defence,
5 or 6 of his didn't turn up, perhaps not wanting when it came down to it. That works both ways. It's very, very hard. And actually, when you're running investigations like this, because of the nature of our libel laws, you have to say to people when you're writing these stories, would you be willing to testify? You're not held to it. Of course, lots of women say yes. A lot of women think it's hard enough to even say anything about this to anybody. It's hard enough to talk to a journalist, even under the cover of anonymity. So a lot of people say, I would testify, but when it comes to it and you realise how much it involves.
And also, you know, we're all human beings and we read the news and we do see that people get away with it sometimes, and someone who gets away with it suddenly has more power than they had before. And this is someone who had a power over you in the first place. So that's a very, very scary, very brave thing to do.
It's incredibly brave. Actually, Michaela Cole at the time said, speaking about these incidents takes a lot of strength because some call them grey areas. They are, however, far from grey. These behaviours are unprofessional, violent, and can destroy a person's perception of themselves, their places in the world, and their career irreparably.
His genuine shock that this behaviour was seen as anything other than I'm just a Jack the Lad and I'm the producer.
And obviously even more stuff come out because it actually went to court and got breaking down in more detail, which ruined it even more for Noel Clarke to get opportunities. He risked it all trying to chase that big bag of $76 million he was suing them for. There was a guy called Winston Davis that's put out a lot of coverage on this, and he's someone that has defended Noel Clarke through this, and there is no legal action against him and no civil action against him proving anything, yet he's completely blackballed and cancelled from the industry.
But that's the challenge of the media, trial by media now, right? Look, 3 years ago, we had Noel Clarke, you know, famous actor, writer, producer, smashed it, built himself up, done really well, given a BAFTA. A few days later, it's taken away because 20 women have come forward to say that he's been abusive, sexually inappropriate, I think it was, and harassment, something like that.
Yeah.
but then he's never been faced any kind of criminal conviction. He's never been given any civil prosecution, which is a lower threshold of guilt. And yet he's been blacklisted and is still to this day, 3.5 years later, not working.
And the cancel culture is frightening.
You can have a long career in the acting and producing world, and he was getting stuff on Netflix. He was definitely generating significant income and his company was growing. I'm not sure 76 million, but he definitely would have made multi-millions if he never got cancelled like this. That guy we just see on TV was actually making videos from the trial as well and saying he believes Noel Clarke in a way has been stitched up here.
Jing, first of all, denied knowing another witness in the case, but then was presented with evidence that they were on the same WhatsApp group together. So then she turned around and admitted that they had been privately messaging each other. She also admitted being part of Zoom calls. When asked about a spreadsheet that was in existence, first of all, she stuttered and couldn't respond, and then admitted that she did know or maybe knew about the existence of a spreadsheet. A pattern that continued when asked about anything about Zoom calls, WhatsApp groups, the existence of this spreadsheet, yet was very clear on other factors that she remembered. She then admitted speaking freely about the criminal conviction of Adam Deacon and how Noel Clarke had somehow played a role in ending his career. And surprise, surprise, she had worked with Adam whilst filming a film together. Adam Deacon again be involved in his trial. Despite allegedly being asked for sex by Noel in 2018, Jing Lucy did not go to the police to give a statement until 2021 and denied knowledge of anyone else giving statements to the police, despite 5 others simultaneously, coincidentally, giving evidence at the same time. And there being emails between the Guardian newspaper and another witness about her speaking to other witnesses. And then a recording got played in court where Jing was angrily talking about Noel winning the BAFTA and said that he only won it because he was a black man and he was ticking boxes. If I hadn't come down to watch this trial for myself, I don't know whether I would actually believe the things that I am watching, but without a doubt, Noel Clarke is being stitched up.
This is the thing, because Noel Clarke was never arrested, he said he's completely innocent, and that made him want to get back justice and take Guardian to court. But Guardian have a massive budget and a lot more income to fight a legal battle. It said in this, however, it's understood that at least 5 individuals contacted the police after the Guardian's investigation, in addition to the initial third-party report made on the 21st of April 2021. It appears unlikely that these reports have led to charges, with the Met confirming that it's not currently aware of any criminal investigation into allegations against Noel Clarke. So although these were allegations made of misconduct, they were not of the legal grounds to actually arrest them. One of the 5 who worked for Clarke in the film industry was a shareholder in his since dissolved media production company Unstoppable Entertainment. So this is people who actually directly work with him. Contacted the Met shortly after the Guardian's investigation was published in 2021. The Met didn't immediately respond to the request for clarification. It says Noel Clarke's accusers was angered at the police's decision to drop the inquiry. The women's rights campaigners and women who claim they were sexually harassed and bullied by Noel Clarke said the Metropolitan Police to not launch a formal criminal investigation into the allegation. Met said on Friday that no further action will be taken against Noel Clarke, who was accused of groping, harassment and bullying 20 women in The Guardian. In April 2021, Clarke denied the allegations. The Met said it would not launch a formal investigation following an assessment of specialist detectives. A spokesperson said, "We have updated the complaints. If any further allegations come through, they will be assessed and reported." Now, that might be something that Noel Clarke wasn't aware of, that they did actually report onto the allegations when they done that article, but the police were the ones not proceeding with it. So this situation overall, Noel Clarke's not guilty of anything illegal, but was using his power for misconduct in the film industry. Noel Clarke apparently had no win, no fee lawyers, so they actually wasn't paying him any money, and they dropped out at a certain point, which led on to him actually representing himself. When you're up against The Guardian, you're never going to win.
Noel Clarke, as you know, the individual responsible for many good films in the UK. I think what was the first big one he done? Was it Another Hood?
Yeah.
No, is it Another Hood?
Kid of Hood.
Something happened in the hood. Noel Clarke owes The Guardian a pretty penny. He owes The Guardian a pretty penny because obviously I remember when The Guardian done that whole post about him being, you know, an individual that abused women, so on and so forth, in which he goes, "No, I'm taking you man to court." But I didn't understand why he was representing himself, because The Guardian is a massive establishment. So you representing yourself off the belief that, yeah, I didn't do all of these things. They have witnesses, they got a team, bare things. Anyway, The Guardian's won the case, and from my understanding, he has to pay 6 mil and he has to fine 3 mil in under a month. And there was feds outside his door like a couple days ago.
So he actually was representing himself,
brother.
That's crazy.
Let me make sure I'm almost certain. I've read so much about this for the. I was just like, Noel Clarke, bruv, what are you doing, my guy?
The Guardian published that Noel Clarke had used his power in the film and TV industry to prey upon and harass women. 20 women testified against him.
Oh. That's a headshot.
At the start of this, you see them say that many people thought it would just fold over and settle. A newspaper is never going to do that. They publish hundreds of stories a day. The Guardian, their media company, is a massive outlet. They're going to fight every single accusation that comes their way to protect their journalism. It's a journalistic thing not to fold over, because anyone you make any post about or article in the future will just sue you and get easy money. There's something that is very strange about this case in the fact that a lot of the stuff that's being labelled by the Guardian here, which the women have complained about, are actual criminal offences, especially obviously the recording of explicit material when someone is not acknowledging what is even happening and then sharing it with others, and the touch and groping. All of these are criminal accusations. So the Met Police not proceeding there while the Guardian actually proceeded with their article is a little bit bizarre. Maybe because it was a long time ago, but we've seen numerous cases before where things have been dragged back up. So the media are still terrorizing him after, because they've won this case. They said basically now he's flocking cameos because he's got no money. And there was that situation where the officers had gone to his house and it said that he was arrested, but nothing come of that situation ever.